Hey folks, I'm Cuz Strickland, and welcome to this episode of Tennessee Dirt, presented by Mossy Oak Properties, Tennessee Land and Farm, a podcast dedicated to helping you find your favorite place. Each episode we'll talk about all things related to land ownership and conservation throughout the great state of Tennessee. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of hunting and fishing stories too. Our goal here is to help each of you live your best life in the Tennessee dirt.
Boy, I love that little turkey gobble we got there in the intro. Hey, folks, welcome to Tennessee Dirt. Thank you, Cuz, for that ever so eloquent intro. We love you. We appreciate it. Folks, this is our first attempt and our first episode at our podcast, Tennessee Dirt. There's more to come. We've got big plans for this, but today's episode is our first episode, and we're going to introduce ourselves to everybody, talk about kind of what we do, introduce these guys to the left and right of me. My name's Jamie Spencer. Again, we're Mossy Oak Properties, Tennessee Land and Farm. This podcast, Tennessee Dirt, is sponsored by Mossy Oak Properties, Tennessee Land and Farm. How you boys doing?
Awesome.
Yeah, been good. Wrapping up duck season, so tired, but
Yeah, how much sleep have you gotten in the last 2 weeks?
very minimal. Very minimal.
Yeah. We got 2 days left to make it all happen.
Yep.
And the birds are flying. Y'all are sending me pictures pretty much every day.
It's been a good stretch since the freeze.
Yeah, it's been a strong finish for sure. So
And
we're
we
hoping 2 more days.
We can hit a little bit on our Missouri trip that we just took, which
Absolutely.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in, folks. We hope that you get a lot out of this. We've got a lot of plans and some ideas for this podcast. For us, it's a new thing for our office. We want to all be involved, all of our agents, and so we're excited about what's to come. And let us tell you a little bit about what that is. Of course, we are full service real estate firm. We focus mostly on farmland, hunting land, recreational land. We do quite a bit of residential. But our main focus is land, cattle farms, timber, investment property, cabins with land on it. We're very active here in Middle Tennessee. We're based out of Nashville or Franklin. We're recording here from our office in Franklin, Tennessee. We've got another office in Dover, Tennessee, which kind of serves our Clarksville, West Tennessee area. But we're a full-service real estate company, and we've got 15 active agents on staff right now. There are 2 of them sitting here with me. We opened our doors back in 2014, so we just celebrated our 10 years anniversary, and we had a little soiree at the Tin Roof 2 in Cool Springs. That was a lot of fun, and to celebrate that milestone in our business. We mainly serve Middle Tennessee. We serve the whole state, but most of our transactions and most of our business, I think you guys would agree, kind of in those counties in and around Middle Tennessee. How many counties in Tennessee? Anybody?
95.
Yep.
Attaboy. Man, you guys do pay attention.
Yeah.
Appreciate
We learn.
that.
We learn.
Transaction-wise, we're a firm that, we don't, break a ton of records here. There's a lot of competition in this town of ours, right? There's a lot of realtors, but we've definitely made a name for ourselves in this business. Our whole goal when I started this was if somebody was going to sell land, I wanted them to think about us first and foremost. And we've really kind of done that through our agents, through our marketing and so forth. And this podcast, Tennessee Dirt, is going to be one of those tools to help, get our name out and really talk about things that relate to purchasing land, what that's like, how to manage the land, conservation topics, hunting, as you heard Cuz say, a lot of hunting and fishing stories to come to. In 2023, we did about 115 transactions for around $70 million. And then this past year, we just closed the books, boys, at 2024. We did 91 transactions for $77 million in value. And, that's nothing to shake a stick at.
Not at all. No, we're small, like you said, but we put a little punch in there for sure.
Yeah, and I like being small, by the way. I like our office. It's kind of a family feel to it. This is what we wanted to create, You bring your dog to work, I mean, it's kind of like we want to hire agents and have folks on our team. I've always said this, that you'd want to sit in a rocking chair in front of Cracker Barrel and visit with. And that's really sort of the team we've compiled, and I'm really proud of that. I love that feeling. Our clientele primarily consists of folks that, usually want a second place. Maybe they live in Nashville or nearby, and they want a place to take their kids to hunt, fish, ride four-wheelers, that kind of thing. Just a little elbow room. Of course, land got really popular, as everybody knows, during COVID. Our phone really started ringing a lot back then just because people were realizing, oh, crap, staying at home ain't for me. So let's go do something. So we really actually injected a lot of business during that time frame, and we've really just kept growing ever since. And right now, having that place to go to be outdoors, it's popular. It's really a trend that people are realizing, especially with the youth and with our kids, which is so important, to get out from behind the TV, put down that, gaming system and go catch you a 4-ounce bass or pop you a turkey in the neck in the spring or fall. So
I'd probably catch a 4-pounder, not a 4-ouncer. Davis might catch a 4-ounce.
Did I say
bass.
4-ouncer?
Yeah, but that's normal for Davis.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. I did not mean to say 4-ouncer, 4-pounder. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Something for the kids to do in the youth besides just sitting at home. So that's what this show is about. Tennessee Dirt. Today's episode really is just an introduction. We're going to keep it really short and sweet. Want to introduce myself, of course, and then you guys too. So I'm Jamie Spencer. I'm the owner and broker of Mossy Oak Properties. And again, I've got a background in real estate and construction. I've been in development for quite a long time, but I've been doing Mossy Oak Properties for 10 years. Grew up in Florida. I'm a Florida a boy, a southern-raised Floridian on the Gulf Coast of America.
That's right.
Born and raised on the central Florida there in kind of the swamps. And went to school in Alabama, met my wife, Abby. We've been married 27 years. We have 3 beautiful kids, 3 girls, and we've raised our family here in Brentwood, and really a great place to raise a family, as both you guys know, because you guys are unicorns in the state of Tennessee because both of you were born and raised here. So, but that's a little bit about me. I look forward to seeing you guys on future podcasts. Any one of us will be a combination. This is sort of a tool for the whole office, really. You guys will kind of be helping me anchor this, and we'll have different guests in here. But today's episode is just an introduction of who we are and who you will see on future podcasts. So that being said, Davis, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Davis Fleming, Middle Tennessee native. It's kind of a unicorn, like you said. We get a lot of out-of-town people wanting to move here to this great state, and I tell them I'm from here, and they kind of are in awe. But it helps out with knowledge of the area for sure. Yeah. Being from here, and I know it like the back of my hand almost. So I've been with Mossy Oak now for 2 full years, 3 years really, but just kind of eased into it my first year. So this is it's been a nice change of pace from my old job, and I love it. I love being outdoors, hunting, fishing. Grew up doing it. Remember, my first real outdoor experience was crappie fishing with my granddad out at Kentucky Lake. Cool. And I've kind of went to that area back, keep going back to that area. Now I got a duck camp down there, and we hunt and do all that stuff down there. So I've got a 2-year-old named Woods. I've been with my wife now for 5 years, been married with her for 5 years. And we have another little one on the way.
Congrats.
In June.
That's awesome.
In June. Yeah, so.
Do we know if it's a boy or a girl
It's
yet?
a boy.
It is a boy.
Yeah,
nice.
I have 2 boys, so.
Potentially going to be born on Davis's birthday as well.
Yeah, due
That's
date
exciting.
is June 27th. My birthday is June 28th.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah. And my son Woods was born on September 1st. I always say we're going to have a great birthday party, opening day of dove season.
Dove season, that's right.
So, yeah, so we got something to look forward to every year on his birthday. So that's
what a
that's
great
awesome.
father-son thing to do too, to make that, because he'll remember that he'll grow up doing that with you, and that's awesome, man. That's cool. And your dog's name is
Camo.
so what's this second boy's name gonna be? Shotgun?
Yeah. I got to keep the theme going here. So
That's awesome. Well, congrats on that. It's been a real pleasure to have you join this team. You do a great job, and I think the sky's the limit with you, Davis, and Ty too. Ty, been here not quite as long, but Ty, tell the folks who you are and where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm Ty Sutley, same as Davis. I am from this area. I'm on the north side of town, Sumner County area, just north of Nashville. Just wrapped up my first full year here with the office. Just like Jamie talked about, it's just a great place to be. Great guys. We really care about the people that we help and serve and our clientele. And I grew up in Goodlettsville on a cattle farm. We still have cattle today. I just live right down the road, so I'm a little bit further down. But that's one of the reasons I really came on board here. I built houses right out of college and did that for a few years. Just decided I want to do something a little bit different. I feel really passionate about this. I love to tell people that I want to help them get to experience what I got to experience when I was growing up. I got to run around the woods and go fishing in the pond and take care of cows. And we didn't sit inside and play video games and that kind of stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I feel very blessed that I got to grow up doing those things and enjoying those things. And it's really cool to help people, other people accomplish those goals, potentially being able to raise their family the same way. So, I feel really passionate about it, and I'm super, super glad to be here. My wife and I have been married for 3 years now in October. No kids yet, so I'm a little bit different than Davis and Jamie in that aspect. Do have a dog. He's a little beat up from hunting. You got to take him to the vet this afternoon, but he's had a heck of a stretch.
Yeah, he's probably more tired than you are.
Yeah, he is.
He was a little tired the other morning for sure. He
Yeah,
laid down in that dog box and just kind of laid there.
Bogey. His name's Bogey.
His name's Bogey. His paw's about swollen up, about as big as this microphone right here. I'm not sure what's happening, but I think his season might be done. That's okay. He's had a heck of a run. So that's a little bit about me.
Those are great background stories, and it's in your DNA for sure, right? And Mossy Oak is such a great company. It's an outdoor lifestyle company. It's a brand that really helps us, right? I mean, it's a powerful scenario when you see a Mossy Oak logo on a sign in front of a farm. It adds instant credibility in a lot of cases, and I think folks know they're going to be working with guys like y'all that know what they're talking about, and can really assist in making that dream come true for somebody when they want to find their favorite place. Yep. Right. So that's exciting. Glad to have you guys do this. Ty, tell us what folks can expect from future episodes. In your mind, Davis, in your mind, what are we going to bring to the people? Give them an idea of some topics, some things they can expect to see from us in the future.
Yeah, so we're going to try to keep our episodes decently short. That way, you can click it on in the car, whether you're going to work or whatever. We might have some that stretch out to an hour or so, and some that are probably a lot shorter. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. We're definitely going to try to bring people on to be a little informational, whether that be some loan officers that kind of walk you through what that looks like, that side of the buying process looks like. We may have some land management guys, habitat management type guys come in here and talk about, here's what we do on a property that needs forestry mulching or cutting in a driveway, or maybe prescribed fire, stuff like that. So we'll have a little bit of informational as far as that goes. And we're also, like we talked about, we're going to talk about hunting and fishing. We're going to talk about what everybody wants to hear.
You mean we're going to cut up a little bit?
Just a little bit, not too much. Well, maybe too much. Depends on how you view it. But yeah, I mean, we want to tell stories. We want to relate to everybody out there and keep it light and keep it fun while being a little bit, having some information. We'll definitely bring you some market updates. What we're seeing in the market, if you're an interested buyer, that way you can kind of keep up with going on, or a seller as well. So, yeah.
And some featured listings that we have that just come up, and we want to tell you guys about it because it's something that might be fitting for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will have some cool guests. We're definitely going to have some other guys from the office on here, and probably some other special guests, within the Mossy Oak brand as well. So,
yeah, it's exciting. Well, thanks for that. I think we also want to remind folks that if you have any ideas or things that you think would be good topics for us to talk about, email us. We're easy to find, www.mossyoakproperties.com. All of our agents are there. And email me, Davis, or Ty. Very easy to find that. And send us your ideas, because we will definitely read those and we'll make them happen. And if you're out there listening and you think you would be a possible guest for this show for whatever reason, man, write us. We'll put you on. I think it'd be great to include folks that are our clients, folks that do business with us. We really want this to be a user-friendly podcast. We want it to be entertaining, we want to be able to reach people and help people. And that's kind of the idea behind this. So, well, let's briefly hit on some things, a couple things that are coming up that we have scheduled. and also for the folks out there to plan for possibly one of those being the NWTF convention that's coming to the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center. Davis, you want to take that one? Tell people about the NWTF and what they can expect, and Ty jump in too. But go ahead and tell folks what they can expect from the NWTF conference.
Yeah, so we'll have a booth set up. You know, it's NWTF is a big thing for us, and Mossy Oak. Mossy Oak is a big time sponsor for them.
They're the official sponsor.
Yeah.
They have a ton of real estate on the show floor, and if you've ever been, you know what we mean by that.
Yeah, and whenever you're there, you can expect to see everything outdoors that is out there for the world to see, and we can't express how much we enjoy going. I think I met you there.
Yeah, probably
one
did.
time.
Yeah,
that's how I learned about Mossy Oak Properties, and saw you there, and I said, man, this looks like a company that I want to join.
yeah.
So
It's just about any outdoor brand you can imagine will be there showing off all their brand new products.
It's
the
packed.
show floor will be
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder Thursday through Saturday, and it'll be duck calls and turkey calls and everything, and it'll be loud.
By those dates are February. I know Valentine's Day is the 14th.
through the
13th.
15th
Yeah,
is the
13th.
actual sports show, so that's when the exhibit hall will be open. All the vendors will be there. I believe the convention is technically the 12th through the 16th. That includes, the turkey calling competitions, the call maker competitions, taxidermy competitions. There's going to be guest speakers, giving seminars on all sorts of stuff as well. So I think the entire thing is the 12th to the 16th. The sports show, which most people go to, is the 13th to the 15th of February.
And it really feels like a family reunion as it relates to Mossy Oak. Everybody from Mossy Oak from all over the country is there. Gamekeepers, the clothing department, all the retail side, toxic. It's a really neat event for us anyway to see and kind of see everybody in Nashville. People travel from all over the country to go to this show. It's nice for us. It's convenient because it's just right down the road. But there'll be folks from all over, not only the U.S., but the country, Canada. I've met a lot of folks from overseas that come to this show. It's an absolute humdinger of a show. And if you haven't ever been, you can expect to hear the most duck and turkey calls you've ever heard in your life simultaneously. Thousands of calls going on almost every minute as you walk around. It's quite a sight to see and to hear as well.
Yep, it is.
And speaking of Cuz, I think our second episode we're going to be doing at NWTF with Mr. Cuz Strickland.
That's right. Thanks. So our second podcast episode is planned and scheduled. We've rented a room there, podcast room, and Mr. Cuz Strickland will be there to talk to us a little bit. We'll record with him, and I got some good plans for that. There's so many things I could talk to Cuz about. He's really become a good friend over the years to me, and I really want to pick his brain about a few things. But there's no better person than to sit and have a conversation with about anything related to the outdoors, like Cuz. He's a really good man, and he'll bring a lot of knowledge and stories to the podcast. So I know you guys are going to kind of help me with that. We're going to stay the night there at Opryland the night before because we'll start that podcast early in the morning. So looking forward to that. Thanks for that.
And Cuz is a good golfer too. We played with him down in Mississippi.
He is a good golfer.
Yeah,
he is a good golfer. He hits it straight every single time.
He absolutely does.
It's really fun. That's at the Foxfire event we have every year, annual golf tournament, and we always play with Cuz, and that's a real treat. Speaking of Mississippi, the other thing we have coming up in February is our corporate land summit, which is all the Mossy Oak properties nationwide kind of convened down in West Point for a couple of days of knowledge, injection of enthusiasm. We have guest speakers. There's there's some classes that we all go to. Be a big award dinner night that we have. Speaking of awards, our office is up for Office of the Year.
It is
2024.
Yep,
that's a good crowd to run in.
And shout out our very own Jeremy Hall, up for Agent of the Year.
Agent of the Year,
yeah,
Jeremy Hall.
He killed it in 24.
Yep. Had a great year. So for Jeremy to be in the top 5 of all agents, and Jeremy's not an award guy. That's like the last thing he's worried about. But I know it feels good to him to be recognized, right? And it should be. He's a hard worker, and he had a really great year. And hopefully he'll be on one of our episodes. We want to drag him in here.
I said, we might have to take the equipment to the bass boat.
Yeah. We might have to set up the podcast.
We might can figure that out.
Speaking of me catching 4 ounces, he catches 4 pounders like it's nothing.
Definitely doesn't catch 4 ounces. Yeah, we'll set up one podcast on the bow of his Camus boat and maybe record him there. So that's exciting, man. We got those couple things to look forward to. guys, it's such a treat to be able to sit down here and do this and sort of start this. This is something we've been talking about for a while. I want to thank both of you for helping me, get the equipment, learn all this stuff. You guys are great at that. And I'm really looking forward to some things we can do with this. I'd like to be able to do maybe 2 episodes a month. That's what we kind of talked about is maybe our goal. Maybe it becomes more than that. Yeah. But we want to make sure it's interesting, there's good content, and that the listener gets something out of it. So we appreciate all those efforts. Anything else before we wrap this introduction up? Y'all want to talk about our Missouri trip for just a minute?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not a duck hunter. You guys are. I wasn't raised duck hunting. I've been doing it the last several years. And man, I can see why y'all are addicted to it. It's fascinating. It's, of course, takes a little bit of investment to be a duck hunter, right? I don't know how many decoys you have. You got to have spots, the blind, the dog, everything. It's an ordeal, but man, when they start coming in and y'all calling and doing all the things y'all do, it's addicting. I love it.
Yeah. Our good friend Lucas Eddington over at Mozark and Landon Carlton had us over, and we hunted right there on the Missouri-Arkansas line, ran some traffic right there off Oxbow to St. Francis. See, we had Jamie. I don't know if y'all ever seen the old Scott Shakers. We had Jamie down in the blind. He was working on them things.
I was. Well, I can't do the mouth calls very well. The reads, the single read, double read. I mean, I'm learning.
That's right.
And I think I'll get better. But I'm not going to I'm smart enough to know I don't need to be doing that. So just give me the shakers, and that'll do my part.
Yeah. But no, we had a blast. That was a ton of fun. We broke in Davis's new side by side. Make sure it was a pavement princess beforehand. It no longer is.
Yeah, my truck's still muddy though. It's sitting out front over there, and it's still got the Missouri mud on it.
That's right. Well, Lucas was a great host. He rolled out the red carpet for us, and he's got quite a spread to choose from over there. That was very impressive. I hope we can go back one day. But we now owe him a hunt here in Tennessee, hopefully. Maybe we can do that.
Well, hopefully we'll get him out to Real Foot. Yeah. Do something like that. Davis and I went to Real Foot 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
2 days ago. And we also had another one of our agents, Jake, with us. And we had gone out to the blind the day before, the afternoon before, to check it out.
Busted up a little bit of ice in front of the hole and just checking on it.
Fixed some decoys, and we noticed the blind was just full of poop. I'm talking about just full, like the whole floor. You couldn't just take a step. And I'm thinking it's like a mink. There's been so much ice, they crawl up to them dog boxes,
Right.
And I'm sitting in there. I spend dang 30 minutes cleaning a freaking poop out of the blind for us the next morning, right? Well, we knew something was living in there. So Jake wasn't with us that night. So we get in there the next morning before light. I'm like, Jake, why don't you pop your head in that blind and see what's going on in there? He shot out of that boat right in this blind. It's a little knee blind, so like you can't stand at all unless you're in the shooting deck.
Low profile, yeah.
Yeah, and so he goes crawling in on his knees, flips that flashlight on, and he's like, oh. I'm like, what is it? What is it, Jake? What is it? He's like, I don't know. It's one of the like big rats. And I just see this ball of fur. It was the size of a beaver. It was a nutria, is what it was. It was the size of a beaver. And that thing's shooting by, and Jake's trying to kick at it in the blind. There it goes running. My brother's loading a shell in. He's gonna shoot it like right there in the blind. I was like, oh gosh.
So it was living in there, probably.
Yeah, because the
100%.
The ice gets in the woods, and they have nowhere to go except for those blinds in the woods.
Yeah.
So he was living in there during the ice storm.
But and Jake got him out of there. That nutria come out the dog box like a dog about to pick up 5 or 6 nice ducks.
Well, now I know why y'all invited Jake.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we needed to send him in there. I warned him. I said, Jake, something's in here. Something will be in here. We don't know what it is. It's like it's like the Princess Bride, ROUS, rodent of unusual size. That's about all we knew going into it.
So, man, I was looking at it, dude, and it was like slow motion. That nutria just coming out of the corner and like attacking his foot. I thought it bit a hole in his waders, but luckily it didn't.
Didn't get a hold of it.
Yeah, he's got a pair of $1,500 shins, and a nutria rips a hole in him with his front teeth. That'd be great. Well, these are the kind of stories we can expect to share and you can expect to hear on Tennessee Dirt. Folks, we are so happy that you joined in and listened to our first episode. Stay tuned for the second episode featuring Cuz Strickland coming to you from NWTF. We appreciate you, boys. Thank you. And let's do this again.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.
You roger that.
Hey, thank you for listening to Tennessee Dirt, presented by Mossy Oak Properties, Tennessee Land and Farm. And be sure to visit us at mossyoakproperties.com to connect with our team and our collection of listings located throughout the state of Tennessee.